week I have developed my project quite a bit more. Um, I've gone from initial ideas to investigation, and then from research to investigation, and also from research to developed ideas. I've kind of begun to put some actual things together. So I have the initial idea I had here. The very rough sketch, developed it a little bit, needs some work done. This is nowhere near what I'm going to stick with, but it's kind of the first of a first idea I guess I've kind of developed. It needs some work definitely. So I brought down my material this week, a large piece of driftwood that had been out at sea for quite some time. The material is about 75 mil by 145 and roughly about a meter and a half. It was definitely out at sea for quite some while, but we've had it at home for about 2 years, 3 years now, so it's well dried out and there is nothing left living in it for sure. This is what was living in it, which they're shipworms, so they burrow deep into the wood with their rasp kind of bill down at the end, and they feed on filtering water and stuff that passes by. So they're buried into the wood with this end, and then they filter the water passing by at the other end. So that's what all the holes in the material is caused by. So as I cut it down, you could see more and more of the damage that they had done. This kind of worried me in a bit because I thought the structure of the material was actually weakened quite a bit, but from being in the sea and the salt has actually toughened up the wood quite a bit. So as you can see down here, I took off the edges, ran it through the drum sander, and took off all the silvering and brought it nice and square. I then cut it into boards and then glued it together into planks. So I'm going to cut them along the edge there, the same direction as the clamps are now, and then that's the shape and size roughly of my project's going to be. So I kept the two outer edges there, kind of giving it a bit of texture. You can see there's a few bore holes there, but that shouldn't affect the structure or anyway the project in any way. Here again is so in the labs feedback I got quite high feedback from the rest of the lads. They were quite enthusiastic and they had some nice feedback. What I did get was that it's very boxy. The aesthetics, the box could look out of place since it's going down the beach. Driftwood's rounded and stuff, so something I have to look at, get rid of these 90-degree angles and maybe shape it a bit better. So again, why I'm not going to stick with this final design. So then I started looking at others. Most of these you can see rounded on the top and the bottom there, circular, it has sharp angles or rounded edges here. This is cylindrical, this is not square, it's rounded edges again as well. So I guess I'm going to be avoiding those square edges and try and round out the project to make it more aesthetic and appealing to users.